Keegan-Michael. Key, good to see you, sir.
Rich, a pleasure to see you. An honor to be here.
Likewise, likewise to have you here. So let's get into this thing right here. With this honors award, can I make a request for you?
Yes, always make a request.
Because I'm assuming you're doing this anyway. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea. Is it possible that Obama's, I guess, anger translator, Luther, does something with Commissioner Roger Goodell in that capacity? Can I make that request?
You can absolutely make that request. Then you should go make a bet.
Okay.
You can bet money.
Yes.
That I would go on a 100% bet that it's going to happen.
Yes!
That it's 100% going to happen. And maybe even with more individuals than just the commissioner.
Ooh.
It's possible that somebody might be rehearsing with the commissioner in an hour.
Okay.
So that's possible. So I would bet that there's your insider trading info right there. That we're going to talk to we're going to have a little Luther Roger tete-a-tete, if you will.
Gosh, as if this didn't just become that much more must-watch of a program. How much of a kick are you getting out of being part of this?
This is unbelievable. It's I have been a football fan my whole life since I can remember, and it's an interesting thing because I know that in the past people who have hosted this show, Seth Meyers in particular, when he hosted 2 years ago, there was one. He only asked. He had one request.
Yes.
And the one request was that he just be able to touch Franco Harris. Like that was it. He's just like, I just want to be able to touch Franco Harris. So for me, it's that kind of thing. Like this morning, I walked into a wall because I saw Ronnie Lott, and so I was just like, that's Ronnie Lott, boom, and then right into the wall. So it's going to be a lot of. I may have bruises on the day because it's walking around and looking at legends and people, especially for. I don't want to get too deep too fast, but I'm gonna
go for it.
For men and their fathers, or for boys and their fathers, this is how we connect. You know, women you're in the bank line at the bank, and someone goes, "How about those Redskins?" "I don't know, man. Josh, know them?" And then all of a sudden, there's a conversation, like a really deep conversation that's very emotional between two men who don't know each other. You women, you do that all the time. You talk to each other, strangers, all the time. We don't do that, and it's amazing. Where they're like, "Do you know him?" "No, I've never met that guy in my life." But you talked for 25 minutes about football. So it's a lot of the memories, a lot of the hallmarks in my life are based on two things: either movies that you loved, or football games.
Is there a specific team that you're a fan of?
My dad's best friend was from Pittsburgh, so I've always been a Steelers guy. That's my AFC team when I was a kid because I'm old enough to have been able to see those Super Bowls.
Yes.
And to see, once again, like see grown men jumping up and down and hugging each other in a room. It's like, men can do that? Are men allowed to do that?
Right.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s and the early 80s when they played the Rams, I have a more vivid memory of that one than anything. Lynn Swann going in the air and getting clipped underneath and falling down on his head and going, you know. So that's one of the biggest memories I remember in my mind. Doug Williams, that's a big one.
That's a good
one. And then 2 years ago, when that ball went over Peyton's head, and that first play, the first snap of that Super Bowl, I remember I was with Jordan, and I looked at Jordan and went, "Uh-oh, we're in for something," because no one knew that game was going to be what it was.
Right.
No one knew that was going to be that display of dominance from Seattle.
Right, exactly.
So you don't know. You really don't know.
So you're referring to Jordan Peele. Is he a fan of which team? Saints? Is he a Saints fan?
He is a New York Giants fan and a fan of any team that has a player that does 3 pumps on it. So so in that case, we are New Orleans Saints fans, both of us, because the very first person to ever do it, and the unsung hero of the three pump nation, is Lance Moore. When Lance Moore and Kenny Stills.
Dropping Lance Moore's name
Lance Moore. I'm going to drop a little Lance Moore, a little Kenny Stills. They had props and everything. So Lance Moore did it first,
Right. I'm here with Keegan-Michael Key here on the Rich Eisen Show. So where are you in the whole prep of this thing? I mean, you're obviously rehearsing, as you said.
I left. We did some rewrites today on our monologue and a couple of the bits that are in the show. I have a rehearsal with the commissioner and a run through later tonight. And it's really so much fun. Talented writers on the crew and big fans too, like actual fans of the game. So it's everybody should tune in because I think it's one of those things where you go, oh, that's a joke I've been thinking about since I've been watching football, or that's a great joke from this season.
Right. So when you were referring to that Super Bowl in New York City, were you there? Were you physically there?
Yes. Yeah, we were at the Meadowlands.
So that was your first one?
That was the first time I ever got to go to the Super Bowl. It's an atmosphere. These people that are here now, you can feel they're being very polite, but you can feel you can feel the energy of what this is such a huge event that happens every year. And it's a miracle that this thing gets pulled together and that people kind of come together under the band of this sport.
And we've got my member of the Chris Command Center behind you right there.
Yeah.
He's rocking the Penn State
He's got the Penn State Nittany Lions cap on. We are.
Penn State, brother.
Okay, just me and Chris.
Come on.
You're supposed to
Me and
say
Chris, and then
Penn
one
State.
guy, one guy booing us. Yes. Oh, the Wisconsin guy. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That was rough. I was there for that. That was rough.
You were there for that too?
I couldn't believe. I mean, at halftime, I just went, "What are you going to do?" It's one of those things where you say, you know, listen, we're a second half team. But I didn't think we were going to win. I was like, we're a second half team. We'll keep it close.
He didn't think so either. He didn't see that one coming either.
It was an amazing game. Very good game. By the way, if I may say.
Please.
Chris, I don't know if you agree with me on this. Wisconsin Badgers, best fans in the Big Ten. They are. They're the best fans in the Big Ten. They're really, really fantastic. Fifth quarter is amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love the Badgers.
You're supposed to clap for that. That's an applause line, folks. It's Packers fans or whatever.
Packers fans.
Now, there's
we got a cheese head over here. Look at this.
Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeyes.
Look out now.
Hey, listen, here's the thing about the Hawkeyes. Your school rocks because any place where Tennessee Williams went to school, I'm an actor.
Look at you.
I know some stuff. Tennessee Williams, University of Iowa, guys. Bingo. That's right.
Tennessee Williams. Well,
Williams.
I'm a Michigan guy.
And you're a U of M guy. I grew up Mason Blue. Did
you really? So
when I was at school at Penn State, I used to walk to Beaver Stadium for the games with my Michigan T-shirt under my Penn State sweatshirt. Sometimes.
So where did Michigan come from for you?
I was born and raised in Detroit. I was born and raised in Detroit. Any Michiganders? There we go. All right, there we go.
Steelers outfit too.
Yeah.
So you were born and raised in Detroit.
Born and raised in Detroit, and so I was. And my best friend growing up, his brother was a trainer.
Right.
Was a physical trainer under Bo Schembechler. So yeah.
Oh, my senior year was Bo Schembechler's last season.
Was his last season.
And I covered the team, and I remember being a student writer for the Michigan Daily, the student newspaper
Daily
in Ann Arbor, and I went to Bo's weekly press conference at a local inn, and it was just one day I got there early and I sat down and started eating a hamburger. Yeah. Bo Schembechler walks in the door, sits down at the head of the table. It's just me and Bo.
Oh my gosh.
And I've never said a word to him before in my life.
Right.
And he sits down, he looks at me, he goes, "That burger looks good." I've had 3 heart attacks I'm not allowed to have anymore. Is it good? Is it good? Tell me, is it good? And I'm like, yeah, coach, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good burger, coach.
I was frightened of him down to my socks.
Oh yeah, he was an intimidating presence. I mean, and one of the I mean, you know, of course I'm partial, but maybe the greatest rivalry in college sports is Ohio State Michigan. I mean, it's still, you know.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, you want to see a miracle. I know there are couples in this world, like people who got married. I don't even know how that's possible. How could you get married and have gone to Ohio State and Michigan?
Great question.
Really
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So, last couple of minutes we were with Keegan-Michael Key before we send you back to rehearsals for the honors that's on Fox tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. Who from the sports world has reached out to you, say, "Hey, I'm a fan." That kind of made you all fired up.
You know who's really great? Vaughn Miller's a fantastic human being. Really fantastic human being, and he's been a big supporter. Everybody. There's a bevy of New York Giants who are big Key and Peele fans because we're big sports fans. I think.
Oh, I've noticed some of the
it goes back and forth. Yeah.
Some of the skits that you've done to send up the sports world and the sports media world.
Sports media world, right? And you know, a great moment of my life. Speaking of sports media, we did something for the ESPYs a few years back. I was very, very, very happy to have met Stuart Scott before he passed away. That was a big thing. Yeah, a gentleman and a scholar, really an amazing human being. But the meeting, I met Barry Sanders way years and years ago.
Yeah.
And that was something that was overwhelming for me. Like especially in your career, the longer you go in your career, the more you look at other actors as just people who work, and you admire their work and they admire your work. But athletes do a thing that so many of us cannot do. They're not humans to me. But everybody, the support that we've got. Yeah, but Von Miller is a person that really comes to mind.
He's a three-pump guy, isn't he?
He's a three-pump guy.
Yeah.
Von Miller's a three-pump guy. He's in the three-pump crew. And but so he's a person, very philanthropic, lots of charity work, has really adopted Denver as a city, and made his mark there, both as a humanitarian and as a player.
Well, I met you a few weeks ago, and I'm thrilled that you're here to take
Absolutely.
time to come
me
here.
too.
I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you so much,
you and
Rich.
Jordan Peele from Key and Peele, and also in Fargo. You guys
Fargo, we had a great time in Fargo.
You were phenomenal.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
In Fargo, the FX version on Fargo.
Right.
Awesome. When you guys showed up, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Key and Peele.
Right.
And you were terrific in it.
Oh, thank you so much,
in it.
man. Thank you.
And Brockman, you got something for the Keanu? You're a Keanu guy as well?
So did you? Amazing movie, so funny, next level. Did you get Keanu Reeves like blessing to kind of use his name for this
have
movie?
you seen him at award shows
what was
since?
that
I saw
like?
Keanu. I saw Keanu at the John Wick Chapter 2 premiere 3 days ago.
Okay.
And we were walking off the red carpet, and he saw me. We've never met. He saw me and came over and gave me a hug, which was really lovely. First of all, the man's body is made of granite. It's ridiculous. It's like hugging a rock, And but his sister is the person who got him to do the voice in the movie. So he is the voice of the kitty in that drug trip.
Right.
It's his voice. And his sister watched the trailer, and she sent it to him. She goes, honey, Keanu, you got to do this. And he was really lovely and complimentary. He's just a top-notch human being. Really fantastic guy.
I love it. Have a great time.
good.
Have a great time tomorrow night.
No, there's nothing but a great time at the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
What a pleasure, Rich. Thanks for having me on.
And I'm so excited to
Me
see
too, me too.
the anger translator Luther with RG1 is what we
With
call
RG1.
He's RG1.
RG1.
Good to see you.
Thank you, everybody.
Keegan-Michael Key, everybody. Keegan-Michael Key.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.